Alright, so, yeah, so here is the next Spawn comic review. For some reason, 2022 has become the Spawn year for me for some reason or another. Yep, so as I guys told you way back with Spawn Dark Horror, I purchased this and that one and Enemy of the State, and was basically like, I'm going to review some Spawn comics. I've heard a lot of good things about this new era, so it was kind of nice to go back to trades where we follow Spawn building up to this new era post issue 300. So that was kind of that was pretty much the idea for doing this. And yeah, now to be fair, there's still 2 more volumes I still need to get to fully catch up on everything going on in the Spawn books. Like that's like everything going on in current Spawn books. But for the most part, we're going to talk about Vengeance, which is the big penultimate build up to issue 300, which is in that trade is called the Record Breaker, and leading up to Spawn Aftermath, which builds up to everything going on in that post time frame. So Spawn Vengeance picks up where Enemy of the State left off, where Spawn found Overkill and also brought together the Freak, the Cursed, and Cygor along with Overkill, and they're now working for him in his war against Heaven and Hell. And yeah, so this comic is a Sean Alexander, Sean Alexander's artwork is great. He does do, I think, some of the co-writing too. I really do love the like dark horror aspect of this. I really do enjoy like just kind of like the dark, shadowy coloration. I really do enjoy like seeing, like, if you're a fan of or like have a knowledge of classic Spawn books, then you see like, oh, Redeemer, oh cool, you can't go wrong with a good old-fashioned Spawn Violator fight. And to its credit, this is like Spawn putting the final pieces of his plan together to go to war with Heaven and Hell. And it's a very well done, like, he's putting the plan together by exposing Heaven and Hell to Earth. Like, he basically tells all of Earth, hey, Heaven and Hell are real, and they're both abusing you, it's time to rise up. And I really do like that. I really think that's cool. However, there are some caveats with that. There are some legit caveats I do have with this book. Namely, that this is like, I've been really good with Todd McFarlane's writing so far with Dark Horror and Enemy of the State, where I thought these were really cool ideas. He was really doing neat stuff. And then the good old-fashioned Todd McFarlane, let's not even bother with set continuity, make up rules as we go along, rears his fucking head in this book. Because, yeah, there are some legit retcons in this series that make you go, what? That's just a throwaway line. I feel like we should expand on that more. Like, for instance, Violator reveals that he's the one who made the symbiote that connects to Al Simmons, and not Malbolgia. Like, Malbolgia just took credit for it, and Violator is the one who created the thing that wraps around Al Simmons. And I'm like, wait, we're almost 300 issues in, and really we're just now revealing this big reveal that was never brought up and never even mentioned by Violator. Like, I didn't understand that at fucking all. Like, that broke my brain. Also, they're very nebulous on Spawn's power level as of late, because they say, like, Spawn's wounded, but at the same time, he's still pretty powerful, but they can't, like, Todd McFarlane can't peg if he wants to make Spawn all-powerful, or if he just wants to make Spawn like weaker and more like on a goal. Like, it just, the writing feels very, very superfluous in a lot of this. And even though the story arc is called Vengeance, Spawn's not really he's getting ready for vengeance. He's like, that's the thing, is that it's more like it should be called Ready for Vengeance. That's really where it should be, getting ready for vengeance, or prelude to vengeance, or something. There's also a lot of stuff in here where it talks about, like, it brings up Spawn's vampirism that they kind of played with in the early comics. We also get Jim Downing, who's in a coma. Yeah, when Al Simmons came back, Jim Downing didn't mean a shit, really. Like, he really, like, I've kind of noticed that if some people really do like the Downing era of Spawn, but for the most part, people were like, fuck this guy. When's Al coming back? Anyway. But, yeah. All in all, there's also two whole issues dedicated to giving you a recap of Spawn, and by Redeemer and Cagliostro. Those two basically are giving Heaven a rundown for this, and it's 2 whole issues. And could you imagine reading in trade? It's fine, but like, could you imagine reading this monthly? I mean, there's great artwork in here. There's fantastic artwork, and if you're a new reader for Spawn, this is nice and all, but there's just some brilliant artwork in here by Jason Son Alexander. But if you're reading the single issue, yeah, while it looks cool, it would get irritating. And also, you have to do this for 5 pages. Yeah. I hate when you gotta turn the book like that. It's a little infuriating. So it is a bit of a trip up, but hopefully when I get Spawn, Record Breaker, and Aftermath, hopefully this will be like, okay, it was worth it. Although, while I will say the Spawn Violator face-off was pretty fun, too. All in all, pretty fun. It's probably the weakest of them. I still think Dark Horror is the best of the 3, but, yeah, this just feels more like padding and setup for what we should be getting. But then that's kind of Todd McFarlane's fault sometimes, is that it's very much, to quote Comic Pop, very move the car George most of the times. And boy, did classic Todd McFarlane pop up for this book. Anyway, so there you go, guys. That is pretty much my review. Hope you all enjoyed this review of Spawn. And other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.